What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Welcome back to another Monday live stream this week in physical media, where we talk about everything that's dropping tomorrow, Blues Day Tuesday, in physical media, in physical Blu-ray and 4K. We're going to talk about it all, and we're also going to talk to you guys in the live chat, and there's already quite a few people here, so I'm going to jump over there and see who's here. So if you want to join us for one of these, like I said, we go live every night. Not every night, good grief, every week, Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'd love to have you join us. We have a good time talking about movies, and we do a little bit of Q&A. We talk about all the new releases. We do everything, and we usually go for about an hour and a half, and it's a really good time. So we'd love to see you here. Let me see who is already here in the chat. Over here, we've got, oh my goodness, your friend Mr. Jones is here. Says, hi, long-time lurker, first-time commenter. Very excited to get Fear is the Key this week. Saw it on the Criterion channel last fall and was blown away, especially by the ending. Well, we will get to that, sir. Don't worry, that is definitely coming out this week. Sam Fett is here. Gus is here. Gus is always very exuberant and excited in the chat. He always gives me a smile on my face. Sean Fox, hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. JT is here. Kevin House. JT says, looking forward to talking all things movies with you this evening. I am looking forward to it as well. One of the bright spots of my week, starting my week with you guys every Monday, it's been a good time. It's been a good time, and I'm glad we've stuck with it the last few months. Connor Nielsen is here. Always good to see you. Henry Bidenkamp, Michael Smith, Dan's Den is here. Nostalgia Nerds. Hey, that's not a name I say very often, so it's good to see you here tonight. An internet user and Jeffrey Patron is here as well. Okay, so a lot of people here. Feel free to throw comments and questions in the chat, and I will try to get to as many as I can. These streams are starting to fill up, and we're getting more people, so it is getting harder and harder for me to get to every single comment, but I'm going to do my best. And as always, if you do want to make sure I get to your comment, or you want something, a topic that we can kind of springboard and talk about with the whole group here, you always have that option to throw in those super chats, and I'll for sure see it because that YouTube makes it big and bright and green. But you don't have to do that. Watching and commenting in the live stream is always plenty enough to support the channel, and I always appreciate it. So let's go ahead and jump over to the other monitor and see what's coming out this week. February 13th, that's tomorrow already. Whew, we are flying through February already. First thing, biggest Hollywood movie that's coming out, which we don't usually talk about on this channel, but we can talk about it here because we talk about everything. This is The Marvels getting a 4K release. This is apparently the most popular, according to Blu-ray.com, thing that's coming out this week. So we'll look at the 4K first. This is the slip for the 4K. There's the front. Now, I still have not seen this movie. I don't know if I ever will. I haven't seen several of the last Marvel movies. I think the last one I saw was No Way Home. That one kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back. Although I did come back and watch Wakanda Forever. Did come back and see that one. But other than that, haven't seen any of the newest phase past No Way Home. I don't even know what phase they're on now. But this is the Marvels. There's the front. There is the back. Pretty much standard Disney looking release, at least for the 4K slip. $30 on Amazon right now. So pretty pricey, but you do get the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital in that. But I'm assuming it's pretty slim on bonus features because Disney has been not great on that lately. But who knows? Maybe they're getting better. They are doing physical media again, so there's that. And then if you don't want the 4K edition, there's also the Blu-ray edition, which I gotta say, looking at this before the show, it looks a little bit better. I kind of like the cover on the Blu-ray a little bit better than the 4K. But it's kind of the same exact thing, just a Photoshop with everybody smashed in there. But look at that. A little more colorful. I kind of like that one. Same exact thing. You just get the Blu-ray instead of the 4K. And then also, there's a Steelbook coming out this week, which is probably the most exciting release for physical media collectors because they like to get the more exclusives. And here it is. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We were right. We were predicting that Walmart was going to take over for not just the Lionsgate exclusive Steelbooks, but apparently all exclusive Steelbooks now that Best Buy is out of the game. Here we go. We've got a Walmart exclusive Steelbook for The Marvels. Walmart stepping up, filling the shoes. Look at that. There you go. Of course, you got the dumb cat on the back. And then you've got all three of the Marvel people on the front. And there's, oh wow, the whole disc is just nothing but cats. That's a choice. And then there's cats all in the back. Man, I haven't seen this movie. I'm sure there's a reason there's a bunch of cats everywhere. maybe let me know in the chat or in the comments. But yeah, this is it. This is the Marvels, and this is the probably the coolest version, I guess, if you're into Steelbooks. I'm not a huge Steelbook guy, but there is the exclusive Steelbook that you got to go to Walmart to get. So dust off your pajamas and head back into Walmart. I don't go to Walmart very often, although they're stepping it up lately. We've been dabbling into Walmarts. They got like they're not as distinguished as you would remember. They have some cool kids clothes now, and I've been picking up some stuff like some. They have a lot of stuff. They're all right. They're all right. Walmart's coming around. Walmart's turn the page, turn a new leaf. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but Walmart, you're all right, and you've got all the Steelbooks now. So we physical media guys have to come see you. All right, what the heck is everyone saying about the Marvels here? Let's switch back. You don't need to see that. Whoops! Oh, look at this. We're having technical difficulties, so I had to make this. There it is. I had to make the new countdown timer and the new intro literally like 20 minutes before I went live. So you got to switch it off every time you start the show, or else it starts back up again every time you come back to the screen. It's kind of annoying, but sorry about that. Let's see. Ethan Edwards is here. He is also here. Jeffrey Patron, people talking to each other. Michael Smith saw an unboxing of that Universal Classic set. Looks really cool, but I already have them in 4K. So yes, we will talk about that too. I too saw an unboxing, and I'm sure it was probably the same one from Heath at Serial at Midnight. Love his stuff. He is an incredible channel to follow if you're into physical media, and he showed that thing off, and it is huge. I wasn't expecting it to be so big, but we'll talk about that in just a second here. Asian Persuasion, what an amazing name. New phase Marvel movies have been pretty mediocre. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I can't really say because I haven't seen most of them, but I would agree up until the point where I jumped off. The Marvels is an excellent piece of light, fun entertainment. Don't expect Endgame. Super funny too. Hey, okay, so some positive reviews there. I've heard good things. A friend of mine who I do another YouTube channel with was a fan of that movie as well. Dan's Den, the cat sequence is a major gag set piece. Spoilers, not spoilers, I suppose. Oh, okay. So that's like the big ending scene. That's why the cats are all over the discs and everything. Nostalgia Nerds, what do you think about Shout Select? Oh, that is a good question. I don't know that I have a great answer because I don't have that many Shout Selects. I have a couple that I've just picked up recently, including the Magnificent Seven back there, which they've been doing 4K releases a lot. And I really like that they're giving 4K treatments with nice, slip covers and everything for movies that aren't getting picked up by any of the other boutique labels. So I'm very thankful for them. I just don't have that many of their releases yet, so I don't have that much of an opinion. But I do really want their Fargo. They just released Fargo on 4K. Haven't been able to find a copy. I saw one at a Best Buy one time, but the slipcover was all like smashed. Sometimes people the workers or maybe just other shoppers will try to shove it back into those dumb slidey metal things and they'll just destroy the slipcover. It kind of looked like that. So I passed on that one because it wasn't really a good price anyways, like a full $32 or whatever. And then I also want to get, I think Clue. Didn't they just put out a 4K of Clue towards the end of last year? I want to get that one too. So I'm loving all the Shout Select I've seen so far. But like I said, don't have too many of them. So hopefully I can get some more of those in the future. Great question. Jeffrey Patron, Walmart's Bob Seger's turned the page. Hey, make it happen, Jeffrey. I believe in you. I thought the Marvels was terrible, says Connor. So teams forming. Michael Smith, no 4K for Poor Things. Damn donkulous. I like that. I might have to use that. Let's see. See if anyone else has anything to say about the Marvels. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and jump back because most of you guys are here for some of these boutique releases. This is not a boutique release, this second one here, but this is a big release. So I don't have any of these Columbia Classics sets, and I'm too far behind at this point to jump on the bandwagon because they are going for insane prices on eBay if you buy them secondhand. But these are giant box sets if you haven't seen these. Columbia Classics collection, all the films that are kind of under the Columbia umbrella, and they're all 4K releases, and this is volume 4 already. They've done 3 of these big giant box sets, and this one has 7 films in it, including His Girl Friday 4K, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner 4K, Kramer vs. Kramer 4K, Starman 4K, Starman the series only in HD, and then Sleepless in Seattle, Punch Drunk Love in 4K as well. So lot of classics. They've been putting out a lot of classics in this line, and they're all in 4K, and they all come with their individual slipcovers. I'll show you what the inside looks like here. So these are individual slipcovers, and then they slide into this giant slipcover on the side, and then the whole thing closes. Kind of funky looking packaging, but you do get this big, giant, beautiful book here. Like I said, I haven't seen any of these in person, but I've seen them on eBay, and they go for like $200, $300 sometimes. So I haven't bit the bullet on any of those yet, and I'm not really even drawn to like giant box sets that are just random. I usually like director box sets more, but I do want to pick up, like, kind of cherry pick some of these individuals, because a lot of people on eBay are selling the titles that they don't need individually. So there's a couple that I do want to get, like Oliver, 4K. I can't remember which set it's in. It's either in like 2 or 3. I do want to get Oliver on 4K. There's also City of Lost Children. Is that what it's called? That is also got a 4K release in one of these box sets that I want to get my hands on. So I don't know if I want to pick up any of these ones. Obviously, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? His Girl Friday is amazing, but I have that from Criterion, so I don't need that. And Punch Drunk Love is also in Criterion. I think Sleepless in Seattle is a movie my wife really likes, so maybe I could try to snag one of those. But I don't know. Are you guys going to be picking up this giant box set? I will not be. Let's see what it is for retail right now. It is at $216 on Amazon, and that's probably a little bit discounted from what it was. Maybe not. I don't know, because it hasn't dropped yet, so it'd still be pre-ordered. But yeah, that is the whole box set. There they go. It looks kind of like, it sits horizontal. It's like a landscape style, and it's got this little film strip over here with all the images. Not sure where that would go on the shelf, even if I did. Actually, I do know where it would go. It would go up on top, which you guys can never see. There's actually like a top of the shelves back there above the top shelf that is just empty right now. So I need to fill that up. Or once I fill up the shelves, I'll start moving the box sets up top. So that's where I would put it if I picked it up. But yeah, that takes up a lot of space on the shelf. So let me know if you guys are into that one. That's definitely an investment. $216. Whoo! Wow. Let's knock a couple more out before we go back to the chat here, even though I'm sure a ton of people have a lot to say about that one. Planet Earth 3 4K. We're on Planet Earth 3 at this point. I can't keep these documentaries straight. There's like way more than just 3, because they have like Blue Planet and like, there's so many different ones. I guess BBC and like Apple does some, but even on just the BBC ones, there's like a ton of different ones. This looks like the TV show. This is season 1 from 2023, so brand new. And I would love to get some of these. I don't have any of these. I'm not a huge nature doc guy, but just to kind of show off the 4K player and 4K projector that I have, just to kind of like, what are those called? What do you call that when you have like something that you just play just to show off your technology? I don't know what those are called. Reference quality. I think that's what they're called. Reference quality. I'm sure these look incredible. We watched one like on Netflix or something one time, and it looked really good, but I'm sure it looks even better on disc. But this is Planet Earth 3, season 1. It's very strange that it's Planet Earth 3 season 1. So it's like, were Planet Earth 1 and 2 also shows, or were they movies and then the number 3 is I don't know what I'm talking about clearly, but it's a nature doc. You know what you're getting. There's going to be some British guy talking about stuff while you're looking at beautiful scenery and beautiful animals killing each other and also loving each other. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get for $30 on Amazon right now. Planet Earth number 3. And then one more here. Let's at least get through the top row before I get back to the chat here. This is Footloose. Actually, we'll have to talk about a couple things, because this is Footloose getting several releases this week. It's getting this 4K for the 40th anniversary all the way back in 1984. This little gem dropped. Here you go. There's the front of the 4K slipcover. I'm assuming it's a slipcover. Yes, it is. There's the slip. And then, yeah, this is only going for $23.19 if you want the slipcover version. I'm assuming everybody knows what Footloose is. And then we'll jump down here. There's also, you guessed it, a Steelbook edition, which I put in the thumbnail. Looks great. It looks like a little Walkman, which is awesome. I'll pull up the overview. There's the front. Stickers all over it. Inside's got stickers. The inside actually looks like the inside of a Walkman with like all the tech and gears and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then there's a collectible poster included. Now, is this a Walmart exclusive? Or is this just anybody? This is anybody. You can get this on Amazon. So you don't have to go into a Walmart to get the Footloose 4K Steelbook, but it is a 40th anniversary edition, and it's only, $28 on Amazon right now. So that's pretty cool. If that's one of your favorite movies, that's going to be a really cool way to get it. And I think those are the only 2 releases. We'll skim real quick. I don't know if there's a Blu-ray only of this one or not. I am not seeing it. So it looks like those 2. I'm sure there's already a Blu-ray of this. So yeah, the 4K, Blu-ray, and digital in both slipcover and Steelbook edition. Very, very cool. Let's jump back and see what people are saying. Oh my goodness, I'm way behind. what do we have here? Gus. My Columbia Classics Volume 4 shipped today. So excited for it. So Gus has got one coming his way. You're going to have to let me know how that one looks and what you think of it, because that's really exciting. Nostalgia Nerds, I really like the Fargo show on Fox. Is the Blu-ray with the hat worth it or not? You know what? I don't know if it's worth it or not. It's just a plain, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. Because I have a rolly chair and I can do that. Look at it. I don't know if it's worth it. It's up to you. Let me get this text out of the way here. So unprofessional. There it is, Fargo, Season 1. This is the only season I have on Blu-ray. I kind of stopped buying TV shows after I bought this. But we really like this one. Like I said, it's just this. This is all it is. It's just a standard case with 2 discs. And then it comes with the hat. That's literally all it is. So you decide if that's worth it or not. I don't even know. Maybe just find this on eBay for like $10 probably. But yeah, we bought this like from Target when it like first came out because we were really into the show. Love Season 2, love Season 3. Season 3 might be my favorite, but I have not seen Season 4 and I haven't started Season 5 yet, which just started, which is a bummer. I need to get back to that. I have no time for TV these days, but hopefully that little 5-second unboxing was good enough to let you know if you want to pick it up. But thanks for the question. An internet user, maybe his girl Friday and Punch Drunk Love will get standalone Criterion 4Ks like The Last Picture Show. Oh, probably, maybe so. Now that we have this, now that we have other 4K discs of it. I don't know how that works. It's weird that like the rights, Criterion's allowed to put those out, but then also Columbia Classics is allowed to put those out from the studio. I don't know what the rights are with those. I don't know if I guess Criterion still has the rights because those are both still in print. Let's see, JT, I would love to have Starman as a standalone. Yeah, that's the bummer with those. Like I said, you can go to eBay and find some people selling those separately. That's what I've almost done. You're gonna have to pay probably like $30 though for each one, but that's pretty good. I mean, that's about retail price. Slipmaker, might be a strange comment, but you sound exactly like Raphael from the show Jane the Virgin. I've never seen that show. I don't know who plays Raphael. I didn't even know that was a character. Sometimes when I'm listening to it in the other room, I forget I don't have one of your videos playing. Wow, it's that similar? Geez, I'm gonna have to check out this show. That show's over now, right? That was like years ago. Kevin House, I'm looking forward to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is coming out this spring. I really enjoyed the trilogy preceding it. Absolutely. That's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Love all 3 of those movies. Especially, well, I was going to say especially. I don't really have an especially. I love all 3 of them. Your friend Mr. Jones, City of Lost Children is so great. A dark French steampunk fairy tale. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. I really want to check it out. I still haven't got a chance to see it. Let me take a drink of water before I choke. Ooh. I need a Raphael to come in and like relieve me. Someone else that I can bounce off so I don't have to talk literally the entire time for 2 hours. Gus, those BBC 4Ks are amazeballs. They look amazing. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would ever find time to watch it. Ethan Edwards, Big Lots has one of the Planet Earth 4Ks. Wow, Big Lots. You know, that is a place that I never shop for. Or I never go in. I don't know if I have a Big Lots around me, but I keep seeing people like on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok and stuff like finding deals in Big Lots. Like they get Blu-rays sometimes. Apparently they get good deals. Maybe I'll check it out sometime. City of Lost City Children 4K is not in the Columbia Classic set. It's in Sony Pictures Classic box set. That's what it is. Oh, thank you. I knew I had seen it individually, but I didn't know that it was from the Sony set. Internet user, which Kenny Loggins song do you prefer? Footloose or Danger Zone? Good gracious. Put me on the spot. I don't know. I'm spending way too much time on this. I guess Danger Zone? I guess whichever one's used for better comedy these days, I guess, because that's basically all they're used for these days. Anytime you see either of those songs in pop culture at this point. Sean Fox, I think I'd prefer the Criterion version of His Girl Friday. I love the Criterion edition of His Girl Friday. The artwork on the front is amazing. The booklet's really nice. It's Blu-ray, it's not 4K, but I think it still looks really great. And Ethan Edwards, I think they have only released the first 2 seasons of Fargo. Are you serious? Only the first 2 seasons have got Blu-rays? That sucks. The 3rd season's amazing. That's a bummer. Oh well. Well, I guess I didn't miss much then. since I kind of stopped collecting them. Kevin House says Martin Scorsese said he showed his girl Friday to DiCaprio to show him what he was trying for with the dialogue in a film they worked on together. Oh, what film was it? I wonder. That's really cool. No, I love that movie. That's like a perfect movie in my opinion. I think it's great. One of my favorite movies from what's his face, which I can't remember right now. Good grief. Oh no. You know what I'm talking about. The Hitchcock guy. One of the Hitchcocks. Gosh, that's gonna kill me that I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, let's jump back over here because I'm humiliating myself not remembering one of my favorite actors' names at the moment. Tenacious D in the pick of Destinies, getting a Blu-ray from Shout Factory. Speak of the devil. We just talked about it. Here it is. This is the overview. And it's Shout Select, just like someone mentioned earlier. This is spy number 155. I don't actually know what this is. Is this like a... Is this literally a... I guess it's a regular narrative movie. I've always heard about this. I didn't know if it was more like documentary or not, but it looks like it's just a straight up movie. This is $28 on Amazon right now. The 2006 94-minute film starring Jack Black, one of his earlier things. Not his earliest, obviously. He goes all the way back to Neverending Story 3, that classic. But yeah, nice music film with Satan in it, which is what more could you want? Jack Black, always a pleasure to see that guy. And here we are. We've made it. Okay, we're here. This is why people are here. This is the big one. Someone already mentioned in the chat. We couldn't even get to it without talking about it already. This is Universal Classics Monsters Limited Edition collection on 4K, Amazon exclusive. Oh, it's an Amazon exclusive. It's still on for pre-order right now if you want to pick it up, and it is in stock. I just checked today. At least it was this morning. $129.99 this retails for. This is 8 movies on 4K. Unfortunately, a lot of people have already bought these movies because they've released them several times in several different ways. I think there was Steelbooks maybe, and then there was also the slipcover versions. But this Amazon exclusive, I gotta say, is pretty beautiful looking. I love the box, or it's not really a box set. It's a book. It's kind of like a digibook, just a big giant digibook. And it kind of, I would love to know the exact measurements, but the first thing I thought of when I saw that video of it earlier today was it looks like it would fit perfectly with the big giant Godzilla book from Criterion. And if they're close to the same size, I think these would look great together. They've got kind of a similar style, similar art style, and similar size. The only thing I've ever seen this big is this in the Criterion box, the Godzilla box set. So this is limited edition of 5,500, very random number there, but it includes Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And it's in this big, giant, deluxe book. And each movie gets its own page, and then all the movies are like, all the discs are in the back and just kind of one thing like stacked up. But yeah, there it is. This is very, very cool. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be picking this one up. I'd love to have it, but I don't want to spend $130. I do have all the films back there on Blu-ray in one of my favorite box sets, actually. It's another digibook. It's not as big as this, but I actually do really like it. And I think I'll stick with those for now. But if I ever do get them on 4K, I would, but this is a limited edition, so this is going to skyrocket after it goes out of print. So I don't think I'll ever get my hands on this one, but let me know in the chat if you guys are planning on picking this one up. Everyone's shouting Cary Grant at me over there. Thank you so much. I don't know why I was going Gene. For some reason, the only name I could think of was Gene Kelly at the moment. But yes, Cary Grant, obviously. But yes, there is the Universal Classics Monsters set. Let me know if you guys are picking that one up and how excited you are about it. Holy smokes, I just got the notification that my phone, aka my camera that I'm using, is dying. So let me plug that in so we don't completely crash the stream. All right, next up, we've already gone through Footloose, Hunger Games. So let's talk about Hunger Games real quick. This is a movie that I didn't see, but my wife did. My wife was a big Hunger Games fan back in the day, and she did see this in theaters with a friend of hers. I think she said it was fine. It was all right. I didn't see it, though, so I can't speak on it. This is a Lionsgate Films, like we were talking about earlier, those Steelbooks that Lionsgate has been doing. So there you go. You've got the front of the Steelbook. I don't know if this one has a slipcover, because a lot of Lionsgate Steelbooks had the clear slipcase over the top. Don't know if this one has it based on this tiny little image that I have here, but it is 4K, Blu-ray, and digital. Obviously, this movie just came out last year, 2023, and it is a Hunger Games prequel. We don't need to talk much about it. It was it's a well-known movie. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but everybody knows what this is. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you want to get the Steelbook version, you can get that one from Lionsgate, or you can get this, you guessed it, Walmart exclusive Steelbook. So 2 different Steelbooks for this one. This one is the limited collector's edition with poster, 4K, Blu-ray, and digital. This is also from Lionsgate Films, so I'm a little confused what the heck is going on. They putting out 2 different Steelbooks at the same time? Or is that other one just some other kind of release? But look at this. Look at this. Man, if you love the Hunger Games films, this is really nice. You've got the Steelbook right there with a slipcase, and then you've got a poster, and I don't even know what this is. You've got like 2 other boxes here. Is that like another slipcase that goes over this one? There's a lot going on in this. There's a lot. And you've also got a film cell over here. It looks very similar to the Universal releases that I got back there with Big Lebowski and Jurassic Park. And you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 character cards and a collectible pin. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. How much is this? This is only, well, I guess I can't tell because it's only available at Blu-ray, it's only at Walmart. So I have to go to Walmart, but that's probably, I would guess, maybe $35. I guess we'll have to see if I can find one at Walmart, but that's pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is when I did those Universal Essentials collections. I want studios to start putting out much better releases like this. Stuff that can compete with boutique labels, because that just makes everybody up their game and everybody put out some better looking stuff. So here you go. I'll show this one. This is the slip. Some pretty cool artwork on that. And then you've got the slip back. So it does look like there's a slip case, if not a slip case, at least a slip cover that goes over the Steelbook. Very, very nice. Very, very nice if you're into that movie. And let me know in the chat if you did like that movie, because that's a very nice release for it. And it also has a standard edition Blu-ray with just simple artwork on the front right there. So lots of different options for that one. I'm assuming people will go for that Walmart exclusive if they can get their hands on it. But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see what people are talking about here. Kevin Ford, that's a great point. He says, I'm relieved to see Iron Claw is getting a Blu-ray. Hope it's loaded with extras. Yeah, it's always a gamble whether these smaller, award films are going to get. 4K is like is totally up in the air, but sometimes they don't even get Blu-rays, which is a huge shame. Alden Tuttle's here. He says, I'm excited about the Marvels. It is extraordinarily better than the original, and Miss Marvel is so fun. Yeah, that's why I was originally excited about it, was because Miss Marvel was really endearing and likable in the first few episodes of that show. I think that show kind of went downhill after the 3rd episode, so I wasn't as excited anymore. But yeah, her and the other, I don't know, I was excited for the cast. I just didn't hear great things, but maybe I should just not listen to people and just go check it out and see if I like it, because some people are liking it. Kevin House, this is Scorsese DiCaprio conversation is a short, easy to find video on YouTube. Oh, that's cool. I've been listening to Scorsese talk on YouTube quite a bit. Someone's been uploading like his comments on like recent films, and I also listened to his commentary for The Last Temptation of Christ, of all things, while I was working the other day. Someone uploaded the whole commentary on YouTube, so that was pretty cool. Whoever you are, shout out to that guy, because that was awesome. Let's see. Kevin House, speaking of Cary Grant, I just rewatched Charade a couple nights ago. Like many others, I think it is the best Hitchcock film not actually directed by Hitchcock. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've heard that thrown around before. I have seen that film. I don't have the Criterion release because we already owned it before we started collecting Criterion. But maybe I'll get it someday. That's a big film that Grace likes a lot. Alton Tuttle says the people are sometimes absolutely wrong and just give things a shot. Oh, absolutely. I'm not one who goes with the consensus or with the with the flow of the crowd. I usually just try to watch things for myself and make my own decision, because a lot of times I have weird, strange hot takes and don't usually agree with a lot of opinions. So I'll check it out eventually, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of things to watch, a lot of things on my list that I'm trying to get through this year. So I don't know if I'll have a chance to watch it or not. I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so I would have to go out of my way and rent it or buy it to see it. So I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for the recommendation. Let's see what else is coming out this week. I jumped a little bit ahead to Hunger Games. Here we go. This one was interesting to me. This is Arrow Video, who we've been talking about more and more on this channel. Thank you again for checking out the Conan video. That video did pretty well for a channel of my size, and it was really nice to talk about some Arrow releases. I did get to watch that with some friends, and it was a fun time. Arrow has an interesting niche that I am getting more and more into lately, and this one is I don't think it's any exception. I think this is an action crime drama. This is from the 70s. This is 1972. It's called Fear is the Key. This is the one that someone brought up in the chat earlier already. Rated PG. I guess it's the 70s, so that makes sense. But yeah, here we go. There's the front. Very cool looking artwork on the front. Arrow always has pretty spectacular looking artwork. And as soon as you see the cover, you can kind of immediately recognize that it's an Arrow release because they always have a very similar style. I'd love to follow some of the artists on there and see if they, because they usually post their stuff on Instagram. I could probably find them. But this is it. This is only $27 right now. This is a limited edition. Comes with a slipcover. Fear is the Key is it's an action crime. I'll show you. I'll read the description here real quick. Following the death of his family in an aeroplane crash, a man plots an elaborate revenge scheme on those responsible. So a revenge thriller, a revenge movie, getting back at the loss of his family. So that sounds fun. It sounds like a fun little, and it's only 103 minutes, so that seems about right for that kind of a story. So yeah, I've heard good things about that one. Even in the live stream tonight, I've already heard good things about that one. Next up, another fun one is Willy's Wonderland. I have not seen this, but I did watch the trailer today because it seems interesting. It seems like something I would like. I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys are big fans of Willy's Wonderland. This is another Shout Factory release. Talking a bunch about Shout Factory tonight. This is a horror, I'm assuming horror comedy. Based on the trailer, I got comedy from it. This is a horror comedy starring, I think, a silent Nicolas Cage. I think he's monosyllabic, or maybe he doesn't talk at all. But he is just a random guy who gets sacrificed to, there's like this Chuck E. Cheese that they have to sacrifice people to every once in a while. And he has it's like a super simple plot based on the trailer. Like his car breaks down. He needs his car fixed. He looks like he's, seeing better days. And the guy like kind of tricks him in there and says, I'll fix your car if you clean up this shop overnight. And then he just has to stay there, and he gets attacked by giant, I don't know if they're giant, but they're like animatronic puppet evil creatures. And it's just Nick Cage being Nick Cage going crazy. It seems fun. It seems like a good watch party movie to watch with like other people, not just by yourself. But yeah, Willy's Wonderland. I heard a lot about this a couple years ago when it came out. Was it 3 years ago now? 2021? Wow, 3 years ago already. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but it looks fun. And not only is it getting this Shout Factory standard release, it's also getting a steelbook. Sometimes Shout Factory does these steelbooks. I prefer when they do the slip covers, but this steelbook looks okay. It's all right. I like the logo treatment. Not so crazy about the artwork, but I get it. It's kind of cool. And there you go, Nicolas Cage, Willy's Wonderland. It's a 2-disc. You get the 4K and the Blu-ray, and it is currently $32.99 on Amazon. You can get Shout Select releases on Amazon. And there you go, Willy's Wonderland. Getting 2 new releases. I'm assuming that's the first time it's out on 4K. But I guess I shouldn't make that assumption, but it seems like a safe assumption to make. And then we've got Eric Rohmer's Tales of the Four Seasons right here. This is one that I would be over the moon about if I didn't already own these films. I've got these films from the World Cinema Library box set, probably the nicest box set I own. It's like 4 box sets in one. You've got 4 box sets in here and a giant book inside this big old box set. I not stupidly, because it wasn't out at the time, but I bought this right before this was announced last year. So I don't need these films, but man, I would love to have the Criterion box set, but I'm not going to pay $86 or $125 for a box set of films that I already own. I have seen all of these except for one. I haven't seen Winter's Tale yet. I've seen Autumn, I've seen Spring, and I've seen Summer. I put in Winter just the other day, last week, and I started getting a migraine. And when I get migraines, like my vision starts to go, like I get blind spots everywhere. So I couldn't see the screen. I definitely couldn't read subtitles. So I had to turn it off. I only got like 10 minutes in. So it was a huge bummer, but hopefully I can get back on track and watch that this week, because I want to see that one, because I've loved the first 3 and I can't wait to finish them. I love Eric Rohmer. Highly recommend that set if you haven't seen any of his films. If you tried Six Moral Tales, and I guess it's kind of similar. If you like Six Moral Tales, definitely pick this set up. But maybe if you were on the fence about Six Moral Tales, those are his like 60s, early 70s movies. These are all in the 90s, so it's kind of a different feel, different flavor. All these are in color, so maybe check these out. Anyway, anyone. These are for anyone. Anyone should check these movies out. They're great. I actually just saw a video recently on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube directors talking, I just saw someone uploaded a clip of Tarantino talking about how he used to work at a movie store and he would tell people, kind of prepare people for Eric Rohmer films whenever they would bring it up and ask him if it was a comedy. He'd be like, no, it's not a comedy, not a comedy. And he would kind of prepare them for what they should do. So maybe listen to that video because he's a lot better at explaining it than I am. But yeah, I love Eric Rohmer, and I'm really happy that Criterion's putting this box set out, even if I am going to have to miss out on it, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and look at it. I'm sitting here yapping. I could have this up the whole time. There it is. So it's a nice, it looks like a digipack with a slip case that comes over the side. It looks about the same size as the 6 Moral Tales, which is pretty cool. Those would probably look great together. Actually, it might be a little skinnier, but there's the book. Oh, I wish I had. I'm really going to want that book. The discs look great. The digipack looks great. It's going to be a bummer that I'm not going to have this, but I'm glad that other people can get it, and it looks great. So that is coming to your Barnes & Noble stores tomorrow, and I'm guessing the flash sale is coming up soon. I haven't heard that it's launched yet, but if the flash sale drops, that will be included in it. So check out that Eric Rohmer box set. It looks really nice. I'm going to be very jealous. All right, what are people saying? JT, I picked up Fear is the Key. It has one of the best car chases put on film that no one ever talks about. I'll chalk that up to not enough people having seen it. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not a huge car chase guy, but one of the best in film should hold my attention at least. An internet user, I think Fear is the Key is Ben Kingsley's film debut. Oh, interesting. Good old Ben Kingsley. What a delight. Jeffrey E. Patron, part of my VHS collection, around 16 movies, is dedicated solely to Cary Grant. Dude, I'm loving your reviews on Letterboxd, Jeffrey. You've been watching a ton of Cary Grant movies and a ton of silent movies I've noticed lately. You've been watching a lot of silent movies. I got the pleasure of seeing a silent movie just over the weekend in the theater. The Strand Theater in Marietta Square was playing Harold Lloyd's Safety Last, and I got to take my son. Because we've watched that before. That's one of our favorites. That's a big classic, probably the most famous Harold Lloyd movie where he climbs up the building. Such a fun movie. Really, really great to see that in the theater with all the people just cracking up. That's a great one. If you have a chance to see that in the theater or not, just anywhere, just buy the Criterion because it's great. And we had a really good time watching that. Willy's Wonderland was a disappointment, Dan's Den says. Oh no, it seems like a fun premise, but I guess it maybe didn't live up to it. Slipmaker says, I've heard Willy's Wonderland is awful. Oh man. Oh no, 2 in a row. Oh, well, you guys are really, really bumming me out because it looked fun from the trailer. I liked Willy's Wonderland. This is your friend, Mr. Jones. Nicolas Cage has 0 dialogue. I wished Five Nights at Freddy was more like this. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too when I saw the trailer. It looks kind of very, very similar. Let's see. Internet user Rohmer gave you a migraine. No, I was getting the migraine as I put it in, unfortunately. I don't know why I get those. I get those like every so often. I don't get them from things. They're just kind of random. Jeffrey E. Patron, that sounds amazing. Glad to hear it. Safety Last is an absolute blast. Yes, it is. It really was. My son, he likes Speedy more than Safety Last. He does get kind of bored because he's only 5. He does get a little bored in the middle part of Safety Last because the beginning is really fun. And obviously the ending climax is really fun, but there's a little bit in the middle where it's a lot of just kind of talking scenes and there's no talking because it's silent. So he doesn't get a little bit anxious during that middle part, but Speedy he liked all the way through. Speedy's really fun. Another Harold Lloyd gem that I highly recommend. Let's go over here and see what else is coming out. Keep those comments coming in the chat and I'll talk to you in just a minute. Priscilla. I have not heard anything about this movie. Was this movie not good? I heard about it like when it was coming out and then nothing. It got no awards nods. I haven't heard anyone else talking about it really. Haven't seen any videos about it, but it's coming out. It's getting a Blu-ray at least. Like I said, 4K is not always guaranteed these days, but it is a Lionsgate film coming out on Blu-ray and DVD and digital. Here it is. This is the cover. Wow, it's gigantic. But yeah, this is Priscilla, written and directed by Sofia Coppola. Rolling Stone says it's an instant classic. And I heard good things from like when it first came out, but like I said, it has not had any staying power in the conversation, at least in my circles. Maybe other people are talking about it. But yeah, this is standard Blu-ray release, $24.99 on Amazon. If you missed that one, maybe pick it up. Or if you saw it and really liked it, it's coming out on Blu-ray. Next up, we've got, what do we have? Blood on the Sun, James Cagney and Sylvia Sidney. This is a Kino Lorber release. I think the only Kino Lorber we're talking about today. Maybe not. No. I think we have some other ones coming up. We usually talk about Kino Lorber every week because they put out a ton of stuff. This is a 1945 film, a romance film. A dedicated American reporter in 1930s Japan is determined to expose that government's plan for world domination. Looks interesting, right? Wow, that's I guess it came out in 45, but fresh off the heels of all that stuff, and it sounds pretty interesting. It's a romance and a drama. Very cool cover. I love when Kino does this style of artwork. Is this just the original poster? This might just be the original poster, because they do a lot of original posters, and that looks great. Blood on the Sun. Haven't seen that one. Goodbye and Amen is coming out from Radiance Films. We've been talking about Radiance quite a bit the last few weeks. They've been putting out at least one thing every couple weeks. This is Goodbye and Amen from 1977, another 70s film. We talked about a couple 70s films this week. That seems to be the trend. And this is very, very nice. Interesting. A film by Damiano Damiani. Wow. I'm sorry, Mr. I ruined your name. But yeah, this is one movie. You got two different cuts. There's no synopsis for Goodbye and Amen, so Blu-ray.com is not helping me out at all. But yeah, there it is. It looks incredible based on those screenshots of a 70s film. That looks like a really nice cleanup job. Limited to only 3,000 copies, so if you are familiar with that film and you want to check it out, you better act fast, because Radiance only puts out those for a short time. This one I'm very excited about. I guess I'm not super excited about it, but I was happy to see Arbalos popping up because we haven't talked about this line yet, and this is a line that I just got familiarized with because I just picked up 2 movies from them. Not directly from them. I had to buy these on eBay. But if you don't know, Arbalos is a very cool label that puts out a lot of Hungarian films. Let me move this text out of the way. There we go. Out of the way, Jeffrey. There we go. They put out a lot of Hungarian films, and I went ahead and picked up Satan Tango after I got to see it in the theater a couple weeks ago. I had to have a copy of this. There's my theater ticket, because I'm a nerd and I keep those. But yeah, this is an incredible movie that I think everyone should see at least once in their life. And I had to own a copy of it because I will watch, maybe not do the whole 7.5 hour marathon again, but I will watch it broken up again and just to commemorate that awesome experience that I had, because it's one of my greatest theater experiences now. So I did pick that up from Arbalos. That's spine number 4. They're a very tiny, tiny little label. They only have like 10 or 11, I think, spine numbers. So that's number 4. And then I also picked up The Juniper Tree, which is a movie that I've been wanting to check out for a long time. And that is number 3. Haven't opened that one yet. This one was also sealed, but I did open it because I read the booklet in there because I was very excited after I came back from the theater. The only other Arbalos release I had, besides these 2 before this, was Son of the White Mare, which I have back there, which is an incredible animated movie, one of the most visually unique and stunning animated movies I've ever seen, by another Hungarian director and Hungarian animator. And it also includes his other film, Janos Vitos, or Johnny Corncob, which is another just incredible looking animated film. So I highly recommend those. And I highly recommend Arbalos if you want to check out some Hungarian films, because they put out really good stuff. But this is another one. Let's hop over here and talk about Twilight. This is from 1990. When a schoolgirl is found murdered in the woods, a retiring detective tries to find her murderer. So this is a kind of just a straight up crime drama. But it's got some really stunning, I mean, even the cover looks pretty good. I did look it up a little bit beforehand on Letterboxd. It looks like it's got some stunning imagery, which is kind of a common theme in a lot of Hungarian films that I've seen. I don't know if they're all that beautiful, but the ones I've seen have been great. But there it is, Twilight. Excuse me, so sorry. From Georgi Fers. I do not know how to pronounce his name. I am not great at Hungarian. Clearly, I've never even heard Hungarian spoke, so I don't exactly know, except for movies. But I'm not great at, I don't know if you guys, when you watch international films, I'm just so focused on the subtitles that I don't really focus on their pronunciation. It doesn't really help me. That's why I've been learning French in my free time, so that I can kind of pick up more, because it all just kind of runs together in my head because I don't know the language. So I'm familiarizing myself with French. So at least when I watch some Rohmer films, I can kind of hear hear things that I recognize instead of just focusing so hard on the subtitles. But here you go. This is Twilight, like I said, 1990, a newer film. But and it seems very bleak and very, very dark. It's about a schoolgirl that was murdered. But I'm sure it is it's a pretty good film. And I can't wait to get some more Arbalos releases. I only have 3 so far. But let me know what you guys think of them. Let's see. We'll do one more, and then I'll jump back to the chat. I don't want to bounce too much. We got a lot to get through. This is another Kino Lorber release. It's called Let's Dance. Very different from what we were just talking about. This is a 1950s film starring Fred Astaire and Betty Hutton, I'm guessing. But there you go. This is clearly a musical, and it's a 1950s musical, so you know kind of what you're getting for there. Former dancing partners Kitty and Dawn, reunited after World War II, find love for one another as war widow Kitty attempts to maintain custody of her son from the boy's wealthy grandmother. Okay, so not all, fun and games. Seems like it has a little bit of a darker tone as well. But there you go. A musical from the 1950s. I'm always down for that. And we've got The Shaolin Plot coming out on Blu-ray from Arrow Video, another 70s film. This is clearly a Kung Fu movie, which I am so not qualified to talk about at all. This is such a blind spot for me. And there's so many. It's so intimidating to try to get into these because there's just like dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of Kung Fu movies to get caught up on. But this one looks cool. It's got the famous trademark Arrow artwork style on the front, and it looks like it does come with a slipcover. So if you are familiar with that film or not, and you're just excited to check out more of Arrow's martial arts movies, there you go. That is in Mandarin, and it does look like it has an English dub, which I don't know if I would listen to it that way, and hopefully it just has subs, but it does have a slipcover with original pressing and a booklet, and that is The Shaolin Plot. So Arrow's putting out several things this week, and then also Kino is putting out several things this week, and we'll get to a couple more of those in just a second. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Try to keep up with you guys. Gus said, Willy's Wonderland bored me to death, and I turned it off. Five Nights at Freddy's is better. Wow. Well, that is super depressing, because I was kind of maybe thinking about checking that one out, because it seemed like it had kind of a cult following, but I guess not from my from my comment section. Everyone's really laying into that movie. Jeffrey said, I will bump Speedy up on the silent watch list in my head based on that recommendation. Good. I hope you like it. It starts at a carnival. It starts with a nice little carnival date. I don't know. I won't give it away, but it's a fun Harold Lloyd movie. Dan says, Priscilla, I respected more than I liked, but man, it's interesting as a companion piece to Elvis. I know, right? That came out the year right after it, and there just couldn't be more polar opposites. Literally, they're from two different people's perspectives. Pop Culture 33, Priscilla, I think, got overlooked for how much Elvis was talking about the year before. So you think people were just sick of Elvis by this point, and they're just like, maybe it should have waited. Maybe they should have waited. Internet user, I really dig the cover for Goodbye and Amen. Yeah, it's a really nice cover. I love Radiance's films all around, or their packaging all around, and I eventually I'll get into them. I haven't picked up any of theirs yet. Let's see. Michael Smith. Oh, wow. Your friend, Mr. Jones, says, have to go. I'm on a train and we're pulling into the station. On a train. That's amazing. I've never been on a train. Are you on a real train or are you on like a subway train? I've been on like a MARTA Atlanta subway train, but I've never been on a real train. I kind of want to do that. It's like nostalgia for like movies and stuff. So let me know what kind of train you were on in the comments after the fact. Bailey says, I haven't seen Priscilla, but I love Sofia Coppola's films and style, so I might go to Target's tomorrow and see if I can get it. Wow, your Target still has movies? I'm so jealous. I read Priscilla's memoir it's based on and thought it was interesting. Oh, interesting. Well, let me know how you like the movie. Because I've heard, I guess I was going to say mixed things. I haven't really heard anything. Let me see. Bailey Walsh. I just discovered Arbalos. I didn't realize it was a lot of Hungarian films. Very cool. I'm mostly Hungarian. Oh, wow. Well, maybe you can teach me how to pronounce things, because I just have no clue and I don't even know where to go. Everyone always I don't know. People like to critique people's pronunciation. And I actually welcome it because I actually want to know how to say these things. But I've tried going on YouTube and finding how to pronounce things, for videos before I make them, and then still people tell me wrong and I say it wrong, and then the comments still get mad at me. So it doesn't really help. Everyone says it. Like, I watched so many Satan Tango videos before I talked about it on camera, and everybody said it differently. Some people say Satan Tango, some people say Satan Tango, some people say Satan Tango, because apparently in Hungarian you pronounce the S's with like an H. So I think Satan Tango is like the Hungarian pronunciation, and then Satan Tango is the American pronunciation. But I don't want to talk about this every time I say a word, so I usually just breeze past it and just take the comments as they come. Jeffrey Patron, I bought a 4K player to finally watch my copy of Mulholland Drive. Oh, awesome. That's really cool. So you got the Criterion edition. That's pretty cool. What 4K player did you get? Did you get the Sony one, or did you get the other one? I think the Sony one's great. I've had the Sony one for a long time, but everyone says the other one is, much, much better. But I think they're both great. Bailey Walsh says, I know some French. I took it throughout school. Haven't really kept up with it, but I have learned a few more things that I didn't in my classes. Hope your learning of it is going well. Yeah, I mean, I'm just using the app, but I've had a 30-day streak going. I've been doing a little bit each day, and it's really fun. I actually really like it. I just like learning things. I was one of the weirdos that used to actually really like school, and I kind of miss it. I miss like learning new things. So it's been really fun to learn French, because I only did Spanish in high school for like 2 years, and French is like a completely different thing. I know I'm noticing they don't pronounce like half the letters. It's really confusing. Like, they have these really long words with a bunch of letters, and then they just breeze right past the second half of the word. But it's fun. I like it. I'm liking it a lot. Hey, Watch Guys here. Hello. Just got my copy of Dare Wisband in the mail today. Cool. Very happy. Very happy for you. Jeffrey Patron, the Sony one is the one he got. Okay, good. Ethan Edwards, don't worry. This is the internet. No one will criticize you for mispronouncing words. Seriously, it's fine. I'm okay with it. I've made peace with it. Jeffrey Patron also plan on getting a 4K Kino edition of Gunfight at the OK Corral. Big fan of John Sturges. Awesome. I'm glad that you've got a 4K player and you're making use of it. Let's go ahead and jump back over here and see what else is coming out this week. We've got Gomer Pyle. This is technically TV. We don't usually talk about TV, but Gomer Pyle, the complete series Blu-ray, is getting a release, which is pretty cool. I never saw the Gomer Pyle show. I'm a big fan of the Andy Griffith show. My younger brother especially, went through a big phase where he got the box set on DVD, and we watched Andy Griffith like every night for a year almost. So I've seen a lot of that show, if not all of it. I have not seen any of Gomer Pyle, though. This is the 64 to 69 show where he goes into the army. That's going to make a lot of people happy. I'm glad they're putting that out on disc, on HD disc. And then we've got 2 more 4K releases. These are re-releases, I'm assuming. Maybe this is the first time these got 4Ks. I don't know. But Harriet from 2019 is getting a 4K standard edition. And then Ticket to Paradise, 2 films that don't go together at all. I'm assuming they're just both from Universal. And here it is, the 4K for Ticket to Paradise as well. So either re-releases or first time to 4K for those. And then we've got these, which I'm so excited about. This is another Kino Lorber release, and it's Sabu. Everyone knows. I don't know if everyone knows, but if you don't know, I love Sabu. He's one of my favorite actors. I fell in love with him through the Criterion releases. He's got an Eclipse series that's called Sabu with 3 films when he was very, very young. And then he's also in Black Narcissus, and he's also in Thief of Baghdad, which is also in the Criterion collection. So he's got 2 Criterion collection proper releases and 3 Eclipse series, and he's amazing. I also have a couple other films that he did for Kino Lorber, and they're putting out another film from Kino Lorber here. This is Man-Eater of Kumaon. Here is the overview. There he is. Look at him. Oh, look at him. He's so cool. That's Sabu right there, showing a little nip. That's okay. It's okay. It's Sabu. He's allowed to do that. Man-Eater of Kumaon. I don't know how to say that, but it's directed by Byron Haskin. There you go. I mean, I don't know how well this film has aged. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited because it has Sabu, and that's all I need to know. That's the under artwork, and then also you get this artwork as well. It looks like it's reversible, and there's 2 different artworks. I don't think it comes with a slipcover, unfortunately, but I'm very excited to still pick it up. And nonetheless, it's only $20 on Amazon, or maybe I'll wait for a Kino Lorber sale and pick that one up. That's very exciting. And then at the same time, they're also releasing what looks to be another like action adventure movie. This is from 1954 called Alaska Seas. Same style artwork there on the front. Look at that. I love that kind of artwork. Kind of looks like a pulp hero, like those like novels that, like an Edgar Rice Burroughs novel is what it reminds me of. You got some Tarzan, some John Carter, and here you go. You've got Alaska Seas, which looks pretty cool. It is a crime film, and there's no synopsis there, but I think you can get the idea of it just from the cover of what's going on there. Some kind of crime adventure movie in Alaska, which is a cool. I was just thinking about this. This is the cool location that we don't get a lot of films at. I'm sure we do nowadays, but like when I was watching Conan, I wasn't expecting so many of the scenes to be shot in like winter location. It was pretty cool. It's a great place to shoot action. And I think we're wrapping up here. Let's go ahead and finish up, and then I'll jump back and talk to you guys. So throw some comments, questions. We'll keep this going for about 30 more minutes. Let's go ahead and wrap up these last few here. We've got, what the heck is this? This is Godard Cinema. Godard Cinema, trailer of a film that will never exist, Phony Wars. That is quite the mouthful of a title, but it's from Kino Lorber, and it is technically 2 movies, it says here. I don't know what in the world this is, but it's very intriguing. And it has, okay, so that's 2 different movies that I read. Godard Cinema and trailer of a film that will never exist. Let's see. I don't know what that is, but that's fascinating. But it's getting a Kino Lorber release, and it's only $30. So there you go. 2 films. I don't know if those are real films, like narrative films or experimental films or documentary films, but there you go. You've got 2 films. Are they documentaries? Maybe they are documentaries because it's from last year. I don't think it's directed by Godard. Maybe they're just film studies. I don't know. There it says director is Jean-Luc Godard. So I don't know what the heck that is, but that is, I wasn't even expecting that actually. I didn't see that one earlier. And then we've got Weird. The Al Yankovic story is getting another Walmart exclusive steelbook. This is a 4K release and this is from Shout Factory. I think this is I think it already got a 4K release a little while ago, but this is the exclusive steelbook. It doesn't look that great, but it is a Shout Factory. That's interesting that this is a Shout Factory. So even Shout Factory exclusive steelbooks are going straight to Walmart these days. Let's see. We'll take a look at the front. I didn't see this movie, but one of my friends absolutely loves this movie. It's just like he's a huge Weird Al fan, and he loved this movie last year. And I feel like I should buy this for him as a gift. Nobody tell him, because I know some of you know him. But yeah, there it is. That is the 4K exclusive steelbook, only found at Walmart. And then we've got another Kino Lorber release. Kino Lorber's killing it tonight with a bunch of stuff. This is Madame Dubarry from 1919. Hey, it's a DJ movie. That sounds fascinating to me. The Ernest Lubitsch. Whoa, and it's Ernst. What? Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm on camera. Let's see. We got, this is a Ernst Lubitsch collection? Is this a silent film or is this a Murnau film? Either way, I'm super excited. I don't know why both of their names are on the front. The story of Madame Dubarry, the mistress of Louis the 15th of France and her loves in the time of the French Revolution. It's a silent film. It is directed by Ernst Lubitsch. It has Murnau on the front, though, for some reason. All of this is intriguing, but yeah, it's like a real-life drama from the silent era, 1919. That's very cool. I'm going to have to add that to my wish list. I didn't know. I don't have any Ernst Lubitsch that goes back that far. That's very, very cool. And they got a couple other, re-releases that we don't need to talk about. Faster is getting another re-release, and there's a couple other things there. But that is everything that's getting new releases, and I'm glad we made it through. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble and get geeking out about some things down there at the bottom that I didn't even know was coming. But anyway, let's jump back to the chat and see what is going on. Watch Guy, let's see. Der Weiss Band, The White Ribbon, German film that might interest you, only maybe a decade old, but in black and white. Hey, that's pretty cool. So Satan Tango is also only from the 90s, and it's also in black and white. So a lot of, and it looked like Twilight might have been black and white too, just based on the artwork there. So yeah, that's a fun little trend that happened in the 90s. Ethan Edwards says, Gomer Pyle, USMC is about when he joined the Marines, not the Army. Excuse me, thank you. Thank you, because I would hear that in the comments for sure. Excuse me. The Marines. I didn't mean to insult anyone. Dan says, Sabu is the only major South Asian actor working in Hollywood for a long time. Yes, and he was killing it. He was the best. Best of the best, that's Sabu. Henry says, DJ, interesting that Bjork is the lead in the Juniper Tree. It is interesting. That's another thing that attracted me to it. But there she is, right there. I can't wait to check that one out. That's on my list for early this year. We'll call that a first quarter 2024 movie that DJ has to watch. Kevin House just looked up Alaska Seas, and I see it also features Ross Bagdasarian. He created the Chipmunks and appeared as the songwriting neighbor in Rear Window. Wow. That is a very specific fact that I'm glad you brought up. That's crazy. He created the Chipmunks. He got a lot done. He got around that guy, that Bagdasarian. Ethan Edwards, they've been upgrading the films in the old Lubitsch in Berlin DVD set to Blu-ray one at a time. That's pretty good to know. That's good to know. I'm going to have to keep up with Kino, and check out more of those Lubitsch films. Lubitsch hasn't led me wrong yet. I've loved all the films I've seen by him, but obviously there's going to be some films that aren't for me. I can't like all of his films, can I? Maybe I can. I guess we'll see. I still haven't watched those musicals yet. Grace got me the Eclipse set with the Lubitsch musicals for Christmas, and I haven't had a chance to check those out yet, but I'm excited to check those out. Bailey Walsh says there's a Eureka release of the Madame du Barry. It's a pretty early spine number in the Masters of Cinema line, I'm pretty sure. Interesting. Oh, why'd you have to tell me that? Now I don't know which one I want. I don't know if I want the Eureka release or the Kino release. Now that I've started collecting Eureka, like barely, like I'm a toddler, I only have a couple. But people have been leaving in the comments like, hey, there's a Kino release of this, but there's also a Eureka release, so you got to decide which one you want. So that's just more stress in my life, trying to figure out which release I want. I love Eureka's stuff. It looks great. But Kino Lorber does solid transfers, and their stuff is usually cheaper and easier to get your hands on because it's American. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll just have to make a decision. Jeffrey Petrone. We'll be on the lookout for that. A lot of people made Madame du Barry movies. It's honestly surprising. Interesting. So she was a hot commodity in the silent film days, apparently, or maybe after silent film. A lot of films made about her. Must be a pretty cool story if that many people were trying to get in on it. Henry Lapierre, The White Ribbon is a Michael Haneke film. Oh, gosh, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. People are going to get on me. If that helps pique your interest, it's fantastic. I don't know if I've seen any of his films yet. Maybe I have. I'm sure I've seen at least one or maybe one, but I know he has several films in the Criterion Collection, and people always highly recommend him. So that does kind of pique my interest a little bit, although it's not someone I'm super familiar with, if I'm being honest. Such a weird expression. I don't know why I said that. I don't usually say that expression because it makes no sense. Why would you have to clarify that you're being honest? Just that should be the default. Bailey Walsh, I've seen then 1934 Madame du Barry movie, which I actually really liked, though I could tell what a mess it was to make because it's one of the first Code films. Oh, that's interesting. So they're still making films about her all the way through the 30s. I have not watched any of those early Code films yet, I don't think. I watched a lot of the pre-Code films last year, but it would be interesting to see the reaction to the Code and start watching films that you could clearly see on the screen how hard it was to make. I mean, I don't think that would be a fun experience, but it would be an academic experience. Interesting, at least. Kevin House, DJ, I thought of you earlier tonight. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Why, though? I thought of you earlier tonight when I rewatched The Spider-Woman, one of the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes films from the 40s. You know, that is a huge blind spot for me. I love Sherlock Holmes. I've read at least the original Adventures collection, and I think one of the other collections. I know there's like 3 or 4 collections of his short stories. I love him, and I grew up with the the crazy films from British guy who shoots action scenes, the Downey films. I can't remember the director at this point in time because my mind is fried from talking about the 25 movies, but I grew up with those films. Guy Ritchie, that's his name. Whew, just ramble long enough and then you'll finally come up with the name. I've seen the Guy Ritchie films. I grew up with those in high school. I thought they were the coolest thing ever when I was in high school. I got into the Benedict Cumberbatch show for a little bit. Really liked that for a time, and then I thought it kind of fell off. Did not like at all the movie that they did that coincided with that show. I thought it was pretty weak, but I love Sherlock Holmes, and I have not gone back and checked out any of the Basil Rathbone stuff. I should, because that's kind of most people's definitive Sherlock is Basil Rathbone, and there's a lot of Sherlocks. I mean, it's been in public domain forever, so there's like so many films, and I would love to go back and check those out. There's a box set that I've seen around that has like a certain era all on film of Sherlock Holmes, but I don't know which ones it is. I would have to do some research and check out what the best Sherlock Holmes films are to watch, because that's a huge blind spot, unfortunately, because I know I would really love that stuff. I did watch one Hound of the Baskervilles that came out from Hammer Films, and I wasn't exactly sold on it. Because it was Hammer, it was kind of a completely different thing, but it was fun. It was all right. I didn't love it, though. An internet user, I've rewatched The Piano Teacher from Haneke, and I highly recommend it. The Piano Teacher, okay, that's where I've heard of him from. That is not to be confused with The Piano, also in Criterion Collection. I don't know if The Piano Teacher is in, I think it is. I think I've heard of that on one of the Criterion Closet videos. And Bailey says there was just another Madame Dubarry film last year. Wow, how have I not heard of this historical figure? There's been so many films about him. Excuse me. Watch Guy says best Sherlock Holmes adaptations are the Jeremy Brett ones. Okay, I'll have to mark that down because I don't even think I've heard of Jeremy Brett. What decade was he from, or what era was he from? Interesting. I'll have to check out Jeremy Brett. Let me write that down right now, actually. But that is what's going on in the chat. Let me jump back real quick. Jeremy Brett. Oh, okay, so this is like later. This is like the 90s version. Interesting. Okay, he lived from 33 to 95, so maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive in to, let's do one more pass here. Like I said, last call for any comments or questions you may have, and we will wrap this stream up in one heck of a jiffy, to quote Stuart Little. All right. February 13th. This is everything that's coming out. I think for me personally, most excited. What would I have to pick? If I was going to spend money, which I have none at the moment, but if I had some and I was going to spend money, I would clearly be most excited about Maneater, starring Sabu. Have to get that one. That's a non-negotiable. Maybe Twilight. I'm going to look into Twilight a little bit more and see what Arbelos is doing for that one. Arbelos also, I didn't mention, they put out exclusive slipcovers for like a limited time, and then once they're gone, and they are the hardest slipcovers to get. You think Vinegar Syndrome is hard to get slipcovers for? Try getting an Arbelos slipcover, like the Satan Tango slipcover is nowhere on eBay. The Son of the White Mare slipcover is nowhere on eBay. I did look like in the history and see when the last one of these sold, and it sold for like $200 just for the slipcover. That's how rare those things are. So I'm never going to get it. That would be a holy grail for me, but I'm not going to spend anywhere near that much for just a slipcover. I'm not going to spend anything. I'm going to be fine with just my standard jewel case release, but I don't know if this Twilight release had an exclusive slipcover. I think Arbelos usually does that. So I'm going to have to check their site after this and see if they did it for this one as well. But it's kind of cool. And just to know that you were like one of the first ones to get it. And they put out really nice slipcovers. The Son of the White Mare one is like this beautiful slipcover that has like a fold out, like, I don't know if it's Velcro or magnet or whatever it is, but the front opens up. Very, very cool. I wish I had known about Arbelos back when they first started, because I would love to have those. So I'm interested in Twilight, definitely Maneater, and Eric Rohmer, obviously, I think is the number one thing I would pick up if I didn't already have those films. And I guess I'm not going to be interested in Willy's Wonderland. I don't know. Maybe I should not listen to people and see for myself, but it was pretty unanimous that everyone said it was disappointing. But those are the big ones. I would also like to get that Universal Classic Monsters box set someday, but I don't think that's in the cards because it's a limited edition. Oh, and I am interested in the Madame Dubarry, especially because we talked about it so much tonight. That is very interesting, from Kino Lorber. So those are it. Those are the four I'm most excited about. If I was going to pick, the ones I'm most likely to pick up would be the Madame Dubarry film, the Maneater film, and yeah. I think those are the two, and then perhaps Twilight, although that one sounds pretty dark. I don't know if that one's going to be my thing or not. All right, let's wrap this up, finish up, see what everyone's saying in the comments. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and you guys watching after the fact. Go ahead and leave your comments as well. People have been commenting on these videos after the fact, so that's great. I like that some people are enjoying these, in the morning instead of only watching them live. So if you are on the way to work, stay safe and don't look at the screen. Just listen to the lovely sound of my voice. Watch Guy, who apparently sounds like Raphael from Jane the Virgin. 80s British TV, but based on the books, and fantastic. So he's talking about Jeremy Brett, the Sherlock Holmes that he mentioned earlier. Yeah, TV. Sherlock Holmes works great in TV. That's always been the case. He's always done good on TV. I actually don't. He's probably better in TV than film, honestly, because you kind of have to stretch those short stories a lot to make them into a movie. Kevin House says the Jeremy Brett version is the most faithful to the original stories, and he is a fantastic as Holmes. Okay, so 2 ringing endorsements for Jeremy Brett. Ethan Edwards says the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly Sherlock Holmes was one of the most boring films I've ever seen, and I enjoy some of their other movies. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, bleh. I was like, what are you doing? I was kind of just annoyed that they were making that. I mean, I guess it could be clever if you did it right, but it seems like they just super phoned it in. Samuel Stevens, hey, welcome to the stream. So interesting, just watched a video from the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes channel here on YouTube. Brett is indeed the best Holmes, but wow, do they need a remaster? Oh, wow. You know who I would love to see do some Sherlock Holmes box sets? I think it would be a perfect fit. If they did some remasters and put out some box sets, I would be so happy. Indicator. I think Indicator. Why is Indicator not doing Sherlock Holmes box sets? They do great box sets. They do a lot of great Hammer box sets. They did all the Harryhausen box sets. And they do all those kind of crime things. They should definitely be putting out some box sets for and do some really nice masters of those British, because there's so much British Sherlock Holmes. And you're a UK company, Indicator. Come on, get on that. I would buy those in a heartbeat. Let's see. Kevin House. There is a colorful 1943 MGM musical called Dewberry Was a Lady, which stars Lucille Ball, Gene Kelly, and Red Skelton. Jeez. Wow, another one. That's pretty cool. And a musical. I'm fascinated. I'm just going to go like to bed and read about this woman and see what she did, because it seems like she inspired a ton of fiction. Well, I guess not technically fiction. Ton of movies and pop culture that borrowed from her story. Connor Nielsen, whoop whoop, gotta pick up that Tales of the Four Seasons box set when I can. Hey, if I can't get it, at least you can, buddy. Let me know what you think. I know you still don't have the 6 Moral Tales, do you? You gotta start with 6 Moral Tales and then move on. Maybe. I don't know. I think 6 Moral Tales would be more up your alley, Connor. Maybe check out the 6 Moral Tales, and then if you really like it, maybe get that in the Flash sale, or maybe in the July sale, and if you really like it, November sale comes, you get the other one. Both of them. What more could you want? Eric Rohmer is the man. Paulo Gilbran Freitas. The movie Dorian Gray is Dorian Gray's 70 year? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? The movie Dorian Gray is 70 year? Is 70 years old, maybe? I don't know what that means. But thank you for the comment, Paolo. I don't immediately recognize your name, so if this is your first time commenting, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. It's good to hear from you. I'm sorry I am an idiot and don't understand your question. Maybe clarify in a follow-up. But we are wrapping up here this evening. Dan's Den says, I assume he's talking about the picture of Dorian Gray being that old. Okay, that's kind of what I thought, 70 years old. I don't think I've seen that version of that film, but that's pretty crazy. 70 years. Everything's getting anniversaries these days. Faith says, Autumn Tale was my favorite from that quartet. So lovely. Autumn Tale is great. My favorite is Summer. I've talked about this, I think, before on the channel, in the Summer video that we did. My favorite is Summer. That one just resonated with me on a personal level the most. But I think Autumn is a close second. Like I said, I haven't seen Winter yet, but Autumn is really great. And if you like rom-coms, I think that's the closest he gets to like a rom-com. Still very Rohmer, still very serious and kind of, I don't know how to describe Rohmer. It's really hard. I need to sit down and write about it so I can actually give a good description. But this one is wonderful, and spring is great too. But I think my ranking would go summer, autumn, spring, and then we'll have to see where winter falls once I finally get to see that. Hopefully this week, fingers crossed, I'll get to watch that. I think that one might be. I was liking it a lot. The first 10 minutes that I saw, it was very interesting, very different from Rohmer. Like, it starts with like a montage with like music playing, which he never does. He never uses music, and he doesn't really usually do montages. Usually just kind of slower paced scenes. So I was very shocked to see that, and I was really excited to see the rest of it, and I couldn't, unfortunately, because of my stupid head. But hopefully I can check that out this week, because I'm very excited to check out the final 4 seasons. And thanks for commenting, Faith. I don't think I've talked to you before. But yeah, Autumn is great. Definitely check out Autumn. Bailey Walsh, I think they are talking about the Jeremy Brett version of Dorian Gray from 1976. Oh! Okay, we've cracked it. I think we've cracked it. 1976, Jeremy Brett. So Jeremy Brett is getting a lot of FaceTime in this chat, or at least we're talking about him a lot. So maybe I'll check out some of his stuff. Watch Guy, Dorian Gray. We're still trying to decode this comment. I like that everyone's coming in though. Dorian Gray was in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Oh yes, he was. That's very true. I've seen that. The little high school DJ did see that version. I don't think that is held up as one of the best versions of that story though. Anyway, that is all I've got for you today. I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of that question, or did we? Maybe we didn't. Maybe we'll have to follow up with Paolo next time. But it was great to hear from you. Great to hear from all of you guys. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We had a good crowd, and we had a lot of good stuff to talk about. Let me know in the comments if you're watching after the fact which one of these you're most excited about. And I will be back again next Monday at 9 p.m. to do another one of these crazy streams, because I've committed to do this every week for some reason. But I'm glad I am, because we're forming a nice little community here, and it's really fun to talk to you guys every week. Gets my week started off right, and I hope you get something out of this crazy, weird nonsense that we do every week. I hope you have a good time, and we will see you for another one next week. Now, I don't have my new outro yet. I had the new intro made, like I said, right before we started, so we're going to have to go out with the old outro. So let's do it. Until next time, keep collecting, and I'll be back with another video real soon.